Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I'm Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. This is podcast number 244, as you can see on the screen behind us if you are watching. If you're not watching, it's still actually 244. That doesn't change at all. There is a tip from our previous podcast, and that tip is a high bounce rate could be a good thing. Make sure you analyze bounce rates with an understanding of your calls to action.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your call to action, that you understand how that works. So, for example, if your call to action is to call, right, because you convert better leads and you get more sales when you get people on the phone. So maybe it's call today for a free consultation.
Right.
And somebody hits that call to action and they do just that as soon as they land on your page coming from a search. If they happen to call you and then leave, technically that's a bounce.
Yep.
Right? According to Google Analytics, that will be a bounce. However, that's a great bounce.
Yeah.
Because they left the site after they did exactly what you want them to do. And so while that could be, if you have a great call to action and you get a lot of high conversions via phone, then that means you probably have a high bounce rate, which in this case is okay.
And you might want to celebrate that in that
exactly.
case. Excellent. Please remember, we are broadcasting live from Houston, and we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatches.
Yes.
By the way, when we say neighborhood there, we really mean worldwide
Yeah,
neighborhood.
worldwide, your hood, my hood, his hood.
Every
hood.
all hoods. And our mantra is,
don't be a douche.
if you can, tweet now. We've got the
tweet us
stuff.
Make sure you use hashtag SEO Podcast. This is number 244. Be sure to tag us in it at Best SEO Podcast at eWebStyle. That way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking stuff.
Cool. Hey, if you like our podcast, if you've listened to it more than once, or if you're listening now, go ahead and help us out. There are 3 ways you can help us out, and one of them has 3 steps. Go onto iTunes, create an account, write a review. If you choose to, send us an email, podcast@e-webstyle.com. And really, we're really hoping that you give us that 5-star review, please. Also, you can go onto our G Plus local page.
Yes,
if you're in SEO, you're listening to this, so you're probably in SEO. You know there's a lot of value in your G Plus local review. Write us one, please.
Yeah.
We made it easy to get to the page.
Really easy.
e-webstyle.com/
Google Plus.
or /
Google Plus.
or /
G Plus.
or /
G Plus.
All of those will take you to our G Plus local page. There's 3 things we ask you to do.
Yeah, when you get there, put us in a circle.
Right.
Give us a +1. It's
Boom.
really important.
Yep.
And then write a review. Hopefully it's 5 stars.
5 stars.
And that way, we so appreciate it.
Next, Stitcher. In Stitcher, you can write us a review. Please write us a review. We've got a couple. I think we're at 7, so we're kind of diluting the 1 or 2. We know that some people aren't going to like the what we call the potatoes of our podcast. That's the beginning where we kind of have a little bit of fun and set the tone for the rest of the podcast.
We're in right now.
This part, and that's okay. We just want to drown them out. Actually, we just want you to drown them out for us, please and thank you. Look, there's a lot of ways you can follow us, to stalk us. Let's go over those right now. Facebook.com/
eWebStyle.
Twitter.com/
eWebStyle.
YouTube.com/
eWebStyle.
Instagram.com/
eWebStyle.
I think that's all of them. Yeah, we got them. If you're a PHP guru, a WordPress savant, you can give us a call. We're looking for you. 713-510-7846. Submit an audio resume. Check it out. It's a unique process. We kind of do everything unique around here. We have a referral program. You send us a client, they pay their bill, we pay you. It's pretty simple. Look for it at the bottom of our website. Our website is e-webstyle.com. While you're there, why don't you fill out a form and get a free website analysis. And now to our favorite segment, the algorithm cataclysm. That was a little weak. We're gonna have to fire our special effects guy.
Yeah, that was just an algorithm trimmer.
Yeah.
So this one here actually got a couple of different ones. So yesterday, according to Search Engine Land, Google released a new algorithm focused on local search.
Okay.
Was supposed to make results more useful, relevant, and accurate local search results.
Gee, that's funny. Why would Google want to make them more useful, accurate, and relevant?
Tied more closely to traditional web search ranking signals.
Okay.
Interesting.
Right.
Then because they usually rank different.
Right.
Local search results and so I think what this is that whole trend we're seeing of more of the merging of the results from the 7-pack to a 3 to just 1, depending on what you're searching.
Yep.
I think that's what's affected. They say these changes will be visible within the Google Maps search results and the Google Web search results. In addition, Google said that this new algorithm improves their distance and location ranking parameters.
So that when you're searching, you find stuff that's closer to you when it's relevant. I taught a Lunch and Learn. If you were on our Facebook page, you probably saw some advertisements for it and a pretty cool video. The Lunch and Learn was on Wednesday, and we had some good questions. And some of the questions were, all of these search results are actually local now. How do you handle that? And the first thing I said, well, first off, it's a pain in the butt for us as SEO. We would really like just one kind of general algorithm, and we could work on it. And trust us, we're not driving around town checking them, but we have tools that we can use to give us some good ideas about how you're ranking in different places. So
definitely. So that was algorithm update to Google.
Right.
Facebook ads made a change.
Okay.
So now you can target by device.
Okay. Yeah.
So for example, you may only want your ads to show on.
Let's say
iPads.
you're marketing an app, an iPad app.
Yeah, an iOS app.
Yep.
And yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And maybe it's not even available for the iPad. Maybe it only works on iPhone 5. Right?
Target the iPhone 5.
Target the iPhone 5.
Or at least the iPhone. I don't know if they go down.
So what you do, I mean, if you have Google Analytics installed on your site, which you should, and you have goals and things like that set up, which you should, then Analytics will allow you to see how many conversions you're getting from which device.
Right.
And then if indeed you have a high amount of conversions from, let's say, the Samsung GS4, then target that device.
Yep.
Last one on the AlgoCat. So pretty cool for Bing.
Right.
Bing's been
Cool.
getting more and more busy.
Making changes, yeah.
They've added school ratings.
Okay.
Search results.
School ratings. Like public school ratings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the national rank, maybe with their STEM rankings.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
That makes sense.
Makes
sense.
If
you're moving, and if you're moving, you're probably moving to Houston.
It seems to be that way.
So it'd be nice to pull up. Okay, I'm thinking about this neighborhood. Let me look at
the schools. It's all public schools, elementary, middle school, and high.
I'll never forget. My dad was in the Air Force. The one time we lived on base was in Montgomery, Alabama, and it usually the base housing is near government housing, and so the local schools are usually not the best schools. So my dad calls up and he's like, yeah, so I'm just to check it out. Like maybe there's enough military influence that the local, and they're like, so what are your SAT scores? I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Oh, they didn't even know.
Yeah. So I think that was the only time I went to private school in my, as long as my parents were sending me to school. So cool. All right. Well, we've got a little bit of news. Did we miss anything? All right, we got
the question.
Cool. We got a little bit of news. I just thought this was interesting. Weird Al, he's got a new album out, right? Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, and it's been downloaded 40,000 times illegally. I don't know. I just thought that was neat. I actually saw he was on the Tonight Show or something, Conan O'Brien show or something. It was pretty good. And anyway, he does some good stuff.
Yeah, he was trying to. He was in the news recently for Iggy. Was it Iggy Azalea? It was some chick he was, talking to, trying to get permission to do a cover on.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, in an interview I saw, I mean, there's been some covers he hasn't been able to do because he just hasn't gotten the rights. This is interesting. There's an app called Kimi.
Kimi?
Right? So be careful when you give your keys to anyone because they can take a picture of your keys and Kimi can send you a key.
Wow.
That's scary. It kind of takes that whole stalker chick to a whole scarier level.
Yeah, like, man, where my keys at?
Yeah. Well, no, she doesn't take the keys. Like, how'd you get in my house again?
Okay, she just took a picture of your keys.
She took a picture of the keys and got a key. That's crazy. And this line is just amazing. Russian gecko sex satellite has gone rogue. Yes. So there's an experiment of doing gecko sex in some satellite, and they've lost control of the satellite.
Oh, so not, wow.
So literally, there's a Russian gecko sex satellite has gone rogue.
So what happens when they find it? Like, is it filled with little geckos? Like, what happens?
I think so. They may be really cold. It's the Love Shack.
geckos.
4 geckos. All right, so we've got a couple of reviews. A couple of them are long. Actually, I've got 3 here, so let's just get through these really quick. This is from Gary Fawcett. All 3 of these are on our G Plus local page, so punch in the face to you guys. Gary Fawcett says, love the podcast, guys. Great information, also fun to listen to you guys. Love the show and keep up the good work. Punch in the face from New Zealand, Gary.
New Zealand, down under, punch in the face.
Yes, man. To our good Jamaican accent to speak to, because Australians are good with Jamaican accent, which actually has a lot of Irish. Yeah, there's a lot of Irish in it. All right, next is Kylan Hurt. This is about a week ago. Punch in the face to you, Kylan. This is a little long, so I'm going to just blow right through this. Some people... Yeah. Some people don't like the small talk, but I love this podcast as a whole and specifically enjoy the lighter tone that the hosts take. The podcast's colorful method of tackling, and my iPad's freaking out here, tackling the subject of SEO makes it easier to listen to and occasionally warrants a laugh or smile. Thank you.
It's called an LOL.
Yeah. Or an LOS. If you're looking for nothing but pure technical SEO facts, then fast forward past the first 10 minutes. Or, this is a great suggestion, or use text-to-speech on the SEO books you purchase. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's your option. Go for that. Something. He does point out, but there probably isn't a person in the world even considering the last option. The podcast is free. New content is produced every week. Their archive spans hundreds of previous shows, actually 243 previous shows. And from everything I see, the show is rated the highest among SEO podcasts. Only 2 areas, and this is great. He actually offers suggestions instead of just whining as some of our negative reviews. I could see improvement. 1, more discussions on the topics of backlinks and maintaining and making sure that we keep our audio quality high. There was a period that was really low. As someone who works as a web developer and who has to implement SEO on about all sites I develop, I find their podcast to be the best around, a great tool for learning new things about SEO. Books age quickly in this fast-paced industry, and for someone like me with a lot of time to listen, gym, daily commute, etc., SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing is a powerful resource. Give it a listen today. And he actually kind of notes, how about that CTA? Boo, yeah, Kylan Hurt. Punch
man.
In the
awesome
face.
Review, bro.
Thank you so much. And by the way, I've got information for you specifically today, and I'm going to do that before we ask. I'll do that soon. And then finally, Cleveland Roofing Siding, punch in the face to a roofing and siding company. You can read for hours and hours, book after book, and get a small fraction of SEO wisdom that just listening to the eWebStyle gives. Wait, there's more. It's free and painless. Moments ago, I thought it said pantyless. I don't know why. It's actually painless. I'm just gonna.
Pantyless as well.
It's pantyless as well. We can both confirm it's pantyless.
Yeah.
All right. What do we do if we have female guests? This is that's just not gonna work.
That one wouldn't be pantyless.
Yeah. There you go. 1 episode. You know we're going to have to point that out, right? All right. Actually, so we have had a panty-full podcast because we had Christine on. All right. This is a long email. Also, I'm going to blow through this one. This is Bill Angelos. Hey, and there's some good stuff in here. Hey, I've been listening to your podcast for some time, and I've tried to find the song that plays at the beginning and the end. I already emailed it to him. It's a friend of mine who was in a band called Circle the Cat. If you send me an email, I'll be happy to send it to you. And you can send an email, podcast at
e-webstyle.com.
He also made a comment that on our Contact Us page, we don't have an email address. And he points out, like, his wife is deaf, so she can't call, right? And so I've already assigned a task to add a email as form to that page. So thank you for that. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, well, there's just the website analysis form on the right. So yeah, there is no form. The other thing is there's a typo. Great, we're going to get that fixed. Suggestion: what he wants to do is go over content from other sites, but touch on some things that you guys are seeing or doing. Again, this is a second request. I'm going to do that today. I'm glad people stopped complaining about the sound quality. This is Bill Angelos. Punch in the face to you. Thank you so much. I don't know if he's written us a review. All right, so some new content. Ding, 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 ding. That's our new content.
New content.
Not review content. So I did a lunch and learn, mentioned it a little bit earlier, and Nolan is a video guy. We're obviously internet marketing, so we combined to do this lunch and learn, and we shot a video for this lunch and learn, promoting the lunch and learn. And then I was promoting it, doing boosts, you know, Facebook boosts on Facebook, and I got some really interesting results. And the long short story is, when he first sent the video to me, it was on his YouTube account, and the default image was just his logo. So of course the video goes through our logo, his logo, and then us talking. And I knew that would be weak, but I wanted to get it up. So I boosted that guy for 40 bucks. And then I was like, oh, you know what? That didn't have that good of results. Let me see what I can do. So I actually took a screenshot of the video where there's a picture of Nolan and I that look good, like we look like we're happy and actually enjoying what we're doing. And then I wrote in the upper corner, watch the video and learn maximizing profits, click the YouTube link above. Because as a picture, if they click the picture, it would just open the picture. Exactly. And we got some good results on that. Just an interesting note, in the video screen behind us was text promoting the event, and Facebook actually blocked that image because more than 20% of the image was text. So I actually had to leave in the bright red, watch the video and learn, and I took out some of the dates associated with it. And then finally, he got me the video. I uploaded it to our YouTube page and then selected an appropriate image and posted that. Each of those I boosted with $40, and we got some really interesting results. The one that was an image blew away the rest of them by far. It had, in one case, 15% fewer impressions.
It was shown less.
Yeah, it was actually shown less and 50% more actions. More importantly, both the videos, as they were shown as a YouTube link, got 2 video plays. The one that was an image that says watch the video,
click the link above,
got 7. 3.5 times more video plays. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to post a video and you're going to boost it, right? Or if you're just going to post it, take a screenshot, because the picture's bigger
than the thumbnail that's used for the video.
Exactly. When you do the video, it's half thumbnail and then half title, and it's the YouTube title. So take a picture of something in there, put a little text in there, bold, that says watch the video, because it's actually a call to action. As much as we are drawn to press the play on a movie, we're more compelled when it says click to watch the movie. And so that's some new content. I thought it was really, really powerful stuff. It obviously, it doesn't have a couple controls, like it was over 1 week, so I didn't run the exact same experiment on Mondays or, you know, across Monday to Friday or whatever. It's just kind of 40 bucks whenever it started, whenever it ended. So there's going to be some slop in there. But 3.5 times more video views, and it just makes sense from what we're seeing. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that is specifically for you, Mr. Bill Angelo, and for, who was the other guy who said we needed, and for Kylan Hurt, new content directly from us, by us to you. And I think
we turn it into like we do it again and maybe turn it to a case study.
A case study segment, yeah, that we don't have every time, but we have sometimes. I like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so I want to get to this question. This question came from Matthew. He emailed it to us, and his question says, he says, love your podcast, and here's a topic for it, and I can pay a little for your advice. I need your advice on something. I own a domain name focusing on website design. I inherited another domain name. The new domain name is 12 years old, has 28,000 links according to Ahrefs, and the owner is giving them everything, the old clients, the domain name and everything. Question is, should I A, 301 from the new domain name to the old one, B, change everything on the page at the new domain name and just build a fresher site that points to there, or C, do a 301 from the old domain name to the new one and build a site there, or D, none of the above, I should do what? Great question, Matthew.
And we talked about this. There's a number of ways to approach this. Yeah.
Emailed them back, and so it was a couple things. And so what we ended up recommending that you do is keep your original domain name. Keep your original domain name, because that's what you started with. Take the new one, and I would say begin bringing those features over. Whatever, since you're getting that whole client base and everything else that goes with it, there may be a certain set of features that are available on the new site that you currently don't have on your existing site. So begin to migrate those features over.
And you want to do that only after you've contacted all those customers. You got to make
Exactly.
sure that you've got that transition underway as well.
Exactly. That these things will be happening over here now. You may want to add some imagery, maybe your current logo to the new site. Hey, this is now powered by this particular company. And then that way, once you get everything migrated and all clients have been informed, then I'll do a series of 301s and point those important pages and the main level domain names all to your current site.
Yep.
I think that would work. And then, of course, go back and comb through your on page and update your sitemap and all of the other things that go with launching a new site. So
cool. Punch in the face to you, Matthew. By the way, what is his email is 007.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Gotta like that.
So.
Yeah. Cool. That is the potatoes of our podcast. Time to get into the meat.
Yeah, so we got some good meat today. I got this from Search Engine Watch. Want to give a punch in the face to Lisa Baroni. I hope I pronounced that right. It's Barone or Baroni. I think it's Baroni because it's
B-A-R-O-N-E. We'll go with Baroni.
Yeah, exactly. So she posted an article, 5 content questions to guide your site redesign.
Okay, cool.
Right,
okay, so I'm going to redesign my site. 5 questions that I need to be asking content-wise. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Which is important because people come to your site for your content.
Yep.
And so content being most important, especially now with the Panda, algorithm changes and things like that, it's best to consider your content when you're going to redesign it.
Yep.
So her first question says, what content currently exists on your site? Good question. She goes on to say, use this time to take a stock of what you have, beginning with articles, ebooks, videos, FAQs, PDFs, case studies, images, and more, web pages, blog posts. Figure out what content you actually have. And then she goes on to ask, what don't you have that would benefit your customers, your sales teams, or your fans?
Or your search efforts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What content don't you have that you need? She says, what type of information or content or products are your users seeking?
Right.
And a good way to figure that out is if you have, like, say, like a site search, and I think we'll get into that a little later. If you have site search on your site, then go through your search logs and figure out what people are looking for when they search your site.
Especially the ones that turn up no results.
Exactly. Yeah. What questions do they pose? And so I asked this question: what content do you have that you don't need?
Yeah.
Right. Start thinking about these Panda algorithm updates. If you have like some thin content or content that's not relevant to your site or that's been just kind of site jacked from somewhere else and has little value, get rid of it. Get rid of it or make it better. But you can't keep it like it is.
The other thing is, what if you've written really good content and at the time you targeted the most relevant keywords and it turns out that the population has shifted. So as an example, our podcast started as the SEO podcast, shifted to just the internet marketing podcast because we realized people search that more, and then now it's kind of transitioned back. So it's the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. So maybe some of your content just needs to be reworked.
Updated.
A couple title changes and a couple changes within the content, and boom, you've got, don't copy and paste that page. You don't want that do content issue, but rework that content.
Yeah, new images, new media, maybe some new videos to support it. Definitely. So that was number 1. Number 2, what content drives your revenue?
Yep.
Right? Great question. She says, instead, focus on your low traffic, high value pages and address them. And that's a rare situation to be in, that you have pages that have really high value, they generate a good conversion, they bring in revenue, but they have low traffic. But if indeed you have those pages, they're a gold mine.
Yeah.
Find those, improve them so they can rank. Other than that, I'll say find your pages that do have your most traffic, right? Pages that have the most,
and work on converting.
Work on converting those.
Yeah.
If you got pages that constantly get traffic, but maybe they have a high bounce rate or low time on site or something like that, but they're always getting visits, improve those pages.
We got a great example for that. A client of ours is Doc Response, and we've got lots of content about different diagnoses that his process could lead you to.
Yeah.
That is getting a lot of traffic.
Views. They rank well organically.
Just for like ACL tear or things like that.
Or shoulder, whatever.
So people are looking for, what does this injury mean? Maybe their favorite athlete has experienced it, so they want to know what it is. and so they weren't converting well. So what we did is, as you're
Well,
scrolling
it's
through,
the reason why they
well,
weren't
I
converting
mean,
well.
logically they're not converting
Yeah.
well. Well, there's two reasons. One, they're there for that content and then to go away. And two, we didn't have really strong calls to action that were in their face. So we were able to increase the conversion rate by, as they scroll down about a page down, a pop-up comes up and says, find out if you have a torn ACL.
And it redirects them back through the process which we want them to get to.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call it a bad conversion because they searched and they found exactly what they were looking for, which was a diagnosis.
Right.
But our goal was to get them through a certain process
Yep.
to get to that diagnosis. And by adding the improved call to action,
Yep.
definitely did.
And did it improve it that much? No, because they were there for that information and then to go away most often. Did it improve the conversion rate?
Yes, it did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She goes on to say, don't create new content without understanding what's already working and what isn't working to make informed decisions about where your time is best spent. And I totally agree with that. Like, you should have a pretty good understanding of which pages on your site convert, which pages don't convert, which ones you should need to get rid of, which ones should be improved before you begin redesigning your site. And I wrote down what content drives conversions. And so I wrote that down because I wanted, people to point out that understand what your conversion is.
Right.
Right. So if your content, for example, is if your site, understand your site is what I'm getting to. If your site is information based, and so people are coming because they just want information, then make sure your content gives them that information in the way they can receive it. However, if your site is for lead generation and you're trying to get conversions and people to call and contact you and buy stuff, then your content should likely be more salesy. And maybe have a different type of approach. It should features and advantages and benefits and things like that go with being in sales.
Yep.
So understand your site's content. Number 3, she says, are your call to actions working? Before you
Great
architect a new site, you better have a clear understanding of how visitors are navigating your current one. Understand their actions. Which pages are they going to? How long are they staying on the site? Which pages are holding them there the most? What pages tend to generate the highest conversion, right? Understand that funnel. They land on the home page, they click a CTA that takes them to a product description page, and then from there they eventually request a quote or whatever it is. Understand that path and figure out where people are dropping off at, where people are coming in at, so you can improve those specific places. She says, for example, she pointed out the in-page analytics,
right,
which is a report you can look at inside Google Analytics to find out how many clicks are happening at the bottom of your page, maybe, or are users clicking your main CTA, or are they clicking maybe links in the message following it? Are users seeing important content elements, or are they not even making it there? I think about this. Once you figure out what CTAs are missing, and more importantly, coordinate those with your offline efforts.
Right.
So maybe you're doing some print campaign focused with a certain actor or whatever, and you're doing that same thing on TV. Then you should have CTAs that represent that highly visible on your site.
Yep, absolutely.
You want that continuity.
I would add to that that you want to just be willing to A/B test, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
the CTA color and placement and everything on an old site, now you move to a new site, maybe you've tried to maintain that, you've used kind of logic to do it. Just be willing. Maybe the new color scheme or the new layout needs that CTA to pop more. Maybe you got to go to the kind of yellow and red to get it to pop like it was on your old site. So just be willing to monitor those things and make changes.
Definitely, and I think that comes from like understanding your traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of your traffic is mobile, right? And so instead of CTAs that force people to fill out a form and email you, which is, by the way, not the easiest thing to do on a mobile device, you should maybe shift your focus towards calling.
Yep.
Number 4, what information is missing or needs to be reworked? She goes on to say, looking at your internal search logs, what we were talking about earlier. When you look at those logs, maybe people are searching for things that are not found.
Right.
That's clearly an article or some content, a video that you need to produce, because people are somehow landing on your site for it.
Thinking that you should have it and you don't. Yeah.
And you don't. So definitely figure that out. And I'll say consider Panda during the situation, similar to earlier. And when she asks what information is missing or needs to be removed or reworked, if you had that thin content or those pages that don't have any value or aren't relevant to what your business may have evolved to, right? This is talking about a redesign.
Right.
So at some point, maybe this content was very relevant and specific to what you offer. But as your company grows, maybe it's not that relevant anymore. And so remove it, update it, change it, so it can become relevant. Last one, number 5. Does the content support the site? And so she says, understand the goal of your site. And that kind of goes back.
Right.
So if your goal is to generate leads, then does your content support that?
Or is it just information and you guys don't have like strong calls to action? That would be a site that's not supporting the lead generation.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And especially, let's say for an informational site, you have to consider the type of content you have or you need to have. Right. Information, you probably want like videos, you want case studies, you want white papers, you want things like that because it's information. You want examples. But if it's a lead gen site, then you probably want, you know, call to actions that lead to phone calls or emails
or calls to action to get the videos.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Or maybe you have downloads and products, and with this case, you need descriptions and things like that. And so understand the type of site you have and what its purpose is, so that way you can focus your content right, as she says, when you're doing the redesign.
During the redesign. Cool.
So punch in the face to you, Lisa Baroni. For your 5 content questions to guide your site redesign. Awesome article. Punch in the face to you.
We'll be posting that article on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ewebstyle, and reaching out to her. I know Charles has already tweeted her, let her know that we're covering this article. So hopefully she'll tune in or has tuned in. Do we have any
we got a little what news.
All right.
What? Yeah, so this is what goes to. This is week 2. So French blogger, French blogger, dude named French lady named Caroline Dudet. Caroline Dudet. She must pay damages for a negative restaurant review that was appearing too prominently in the Google search.
Okay.
So the BBC News reported. She was ordered to amend her post title and pay damages in the amount of $2,000 US, as well as an additional monies to cover up for the restaurant's cost.
So was it a bogus review?
It was just her review. She didn't have a good experience. She didn't like the service. She didn't enjoy the food. And so she wrote a review, and the title was "Worst Place to Spend Your Money" or something like that.
Wow.
And the company won the lawsuit. I think it
kind of makes me want to go to Paris, write some bad reviews, and never go again.
That sucks. Like that has to have.
So
something.
It's interesting because I think if you write a review, true or not, with the intent of damaging their business, it's a problem. That's a slander or whatever, right?
Okay,
right. And so let's be honest. Like there's a part of you when you're writing a bad review, you like hope people read it and don't use them, right? Yeah. Your goal may not be to hurt.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah, right. So maybe she was just not very good at expressing. No, I was just trying to help other people. It wasn't that I was trying to damage the business, right? And
I feel like that's affecting free speech. I feel like that was my experience. The food was bad, the service was bad, and I won't be wasting my money there anymore. But I have the freedom to say
if your intent is to hurt them, you don't. And I'm not sure that's a debate point, right? At least I think I'm no attorney, so I think that's where the separation can occur. So a good attorney who coaches her and says, "Look, I'm telling you, you did not write this article to hurt their business. Yeah. You wrote this article to protect all the potential patrons who might go there and have a bad experience." Then but free speech is we're kind of always shocked by these things because free speech is such a pillar here in the States, even though it gets batted around every time.
I just feel like for her to at least to have to pay.
Yeah.
You want me to take my post down and reword it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but I gotta pay too.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
That's rough. All right, this has been podcast number 244. We are the most popular internet SEO, PPC, maybe not, internet marketing podcast in the known universe. downloaded in 83 different countries. That is because of all of you and at least one person in 5 of the of the 85 countries. There's one person probably who has downloaded our podcast to have us be able to add that to our list. Thank you guys so much. We're dependent on you. We keep doing this because of you. So give us feedback. We got great feedback today. Get you some original content and keep doing article reviews to keep you guys up to date on the latest happenings in SEO. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until the next podcast, which will be week after next.
Yeah.
My name is.
Missed last week. We've been this summertime. Been vacationing last week. You'll be out next week.
You had a great cruise, right? You had a
great cruise.
He was on a cruise.
Spent some time with the wifey.
Yeah.
Wedding anniversary. So.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. You well-deserved cruise. Until the next podcast, my name is Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.